Hello, I'm Judy Stiles. Thank you for joining us on Newsmakers. Today we feature part 2 of a special series looking at nonprofit organizations in the Joplin region. Students in the Department of Communication worked with these agencies throughout the spring 2018 semester. They had a chance to find out about them and to help them with their public relations efforts. We're going to take a look at the Fair Acres YMCA, Restoration Life Center, and Arc of the Ozarks. So stay tuned.
Hello and thank you for joining us today. My name is Susannah Schrader, and this semester I had the honor of being the group leader that worked with the Fair Acre Family YMCA in Carthage. And I'm here today with the Assistant Executive Director, Tericia Mixon. Hello.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we did this semester and what you guys are all about. So to start off, why don't you tell us what the mission of the YMCA is?
Well, in a nutshell, it's to strengthen our community. And so we have outreach around the Carthage outer lying areas. And so we just want to strengthen that Carthage community as well as the outlying areas.
Okay. All right. And so in terms of your outreach, specifically in Carthage, what has been your biggest struggle in getting the message out of what you guys do and the services that you offer?
Well, that brings me back to your department. That would be communication. We don't have a dedicated communication department at our Y. It's one of the smaller Ys, and therefore it was a huge help to have Missouri Southern out there helping with their department and getting us set up with some of our medias and getting word out about what our programs are and what we have to offer at our Y.
And so a lot of what we worked on is we did videos and we helped you with social media, just some different things. We did some translations to reach out to the Spanish-speaking population in Carthage. So out of all those projects that we helped you with, what would you say was the most helpful?
What was the most helpful? Oh, that was a good question. I'm not sure I can answer that. Just making us realize as an organization how important that is. It was interesting to work with a group of kids your age and how you perceive things, as well as we have a large demographic going from older active adults all the way down to small children. And so we know that social media is really attractive and a way to promote for your generation. And so we want to pull that generation in and make sure that we are including them in information that we're sharing and putting out.
Yeah, and I think that we got you guys a Snapchat, which is, the big social media form that a lot of people our age are on. So, and we kind of showed you how to post on some of that. So, I think as long as you guys keep doing that, I think you're really going to be surprised at some of the views and stuff that you're going to be able to get. So obviously we had a very limited amount of time this semester, only from January to today, which is May 1st. So you have us for another semester. What else would you have us do?
Well, I would need to sit down and think about it because, like I say, you all have done so much. And again, everything from having helping our staff become a little better at selling the Y and demonstrating as well as communicating what our mission is and what we stand for at the Y. Bringing the personalities out, as one of your students said. So we feel that continued effort is going to be something we'll want to move forward with, and continuing to utilize good communication skills, which I'm not demonstrating very well this morning, but
you're doing great.
Trying to allow others to really understand the Y as a nation project as well as an organization, as well as being able to see what the local Y has to offer.
Something that if I were still, going to be staying another semester, something that I would want to work on was work even more with your social media. I mean, we have the videos and, you have the translations, which is going to last you a long time, but social media is an ever-evolving form of communication. So, if we had more time, I think it'd be good to look more at that and look at some different posting strategies and some different ways that you can create, graphics and that type of thing. Geo filters on Snapchat was something that one of my classmates mentioned. So, but again, we talked about, you guys you're gonna post every day, and that's the big thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're working in that goal.
Yes. I mean, I think
we had 4 posts last week.
Yeah, you did great.
We're getting better.
I've been watching you, so yeah, you guys are doing great.
We are getting there.
So in terms of, the entire semester, what did you learn from us?
What did I learn from you? Well, as I was visiting with your instructor, some of the other organizations that had been gifted with your services, we're talking about how the students wanted to go here, there, and everywhere with a wide range of projects and options, and I think your group was really good. I was the one with the wide range of projects, and you really helped key me into some areas that we could focus on that was doable within the time frame that we had.
Okay, and what do you hope that we learned from you?
Just that know your organization that you're working for. Walk in the door and knowing what their branding requirements are, what their mission statement is, what it is that they're there for the community, so that when you do meet with your leaders, that they're able to tell you the specifics, but you'll know from your research going into the project. You'll do your homework basically.
Mm-hmm. And we spent so much time there over the past few months shooting videos, and we had our guys go and do a presentation. I feel like we really got to know you guys and what you're about, and we got to know your employees, and we got to know some of your members, go into the different classes. We got to know your instructors. It was great. So, I think that if that's something you wanted us to learn, I think we learned it. I mean, we had a lot of fun. It was a good time. So looking forward to the future with outreach and that type of thing, would you ever consider, if money were no object or you didn't have certain restrictions, would you consider hiring a full-time communication coordinator?
Oh, absolutely. That's a goal we would like to move forward with as we look at expansions of our facility on down the road. Right now, we're not able to, obviously. That's why we have to go to you all for the for the assistance you provided. But on down the road, when we do have those options, that is definitely a position that we plan to make at the Y.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I would love to see that for you guys in the future, because I think you have a lot to offer, and I just think your biggest obstacle is getting it out there and so that everybody knows. So while we're here, why don't you explain some of the things that you guys do offer?
Some of the things we do offer is classes. We have a variety of classes ranging in all ages. We have Tai Chi, we have Silver Sneakers, which is a class for active older adults. We have several different aquatics classes. We have a warm heated therapy pool as well as a lap pool. We have a regional championship swim team at RY, and so we have we're constantly recruiting new members for that. We have active sports for the little ones, such as soccer, indoor soccer, outdoor soccer, volleyball, basketball, all of those that you would expect, flag football, and we even have hockey, floor hockey in the wintertime for the little ones. So a very active group, as well as our daycare, which we have after school care at the schools in Carthage, but then we also offer child care in our center for parents as they're working out. So it's an in-house type of care. It's not a full-time, but for a few hours in the morning and a few hours in the evening, parents can come in as a member service. Doesn't cost them anything as a member, and they can use that. We offer lunch and learns, so that we're offering education as well as a free meal once a month. We do all kinds of projects for the community, as you said, an outreach. So, for example, we're teaching every second grader in the school system in Carthage how to swim. Mm-hmm. And so that's huge to prevent those drownings. And so by the time we're through at the end of the school year, every second grader will literally have had a swim education so that they'll know what to do if they're in case of an emergency and they end up in water.
All right, well, you've got a lot going on there, and I would encourage anybody and everybody to go over and check out your facility. You guys have got a really great thing going on, and I wish you all the luck going forward. So thank you so much for being here today, Tricia.
Thank you, and I do want to say thank you to all of the students that helped us at the Y. I know that we are a better place because of it.
Well, it was our pleasure. Well, thank you for joining us today on KGCS.
Hi, welcome to our show today. We are interviewing Bethany Kiele from the Restoration Life Center. This is the organization that our group in communication issues helped with this semester. And so today we just want to ask Bethany some questions. Get to know her a little bit better, get to know the RLC thrift store a little bit better as well. So Bethany, if you could tell us a little bit about what your role is at the Restoration Life Center.
Well, I'm the general manager of the thrift store.
Okay. All right. What does that entail?
So I get to I get to bring in all the donations that we receive, because we are a donation and distributor center primarily. I get to manage a great staff of people. I get to interact with our board of directors. I get to work with a lot of our community partners.
Okay.
And we get to sell a lot of merchandise to help support our homeless shelter.
Okay, yeah. How many volunteers would you say you're regularly supervising?
Anywhere from 5 up to 20.
Wow, okay. How did you become a part of the RLC? I know you've mentioned before that you haven't been there very long, so how'd that come to be?
Just in my second year.
Oh, wow.
And I really wanted to do something that was going to give back to the community in my next incarnation.
Okay.
And I've had my own businesses for decades and worked in other corporations and companies for a long time.
Gotcha.
But I really wanted to do something that was much more of a giving and outreach kind of work. So when this position became available, I applied.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit exactly what the RLC Thrift Store is and what do they do?
We support the Restoration Life Center homeless shelter.
Okay.
First and foremost, we are formerly Neosho Crosslines, where we had a food pantry and supported our homeless shelter, but we recently changed our focus a bit. We no longer have the food pantry, but we do help with the outreach for community needs. So we help people to support themselves by allowing them to choose clothing if they need clothing and they can't afford it, to have the ability to have basic needs met. We offer a once-a-month hygiene program. We do a lot of that kind of outreach. I have started a program of back-to-school vouchers where people who can't afford to supply their children with their back-to-school needs, they can fill in the gaps with us. We have a Christmas voucher program where parents can actually come in and shop for their children on a voucher. Yeah. And so all those kinds of things, if there are events that wipe out somebody's town, like the Joplin tornado, we assist people with helping rebuild. If they've had a fire, we assist with helping with basic needs. So we want to help people support their basic needs so that they can in turn support their families.
For sure. And I know that's an extremely helpful program. Just the other day I saw a lady come in who was needing some clothing, and you guys were so willing to provide for her. That was quite amazing. You've kind of explained a little bit that the thrift store supplies helps the homeless shelter. Can you give some details on how the thrift store helps the homeless shelter specifically?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, when an individual is taken into the homeless shelter, they are able to work at the store to provide them with a basic. We all need some kind of work and purpose, and so we provide a purpose.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's really important. If you've been homeless and living on the street, a lot of the time you feel really purposeless, and so we provide that. We also help because they're working there as a volunteer. It actually works out to be employment history.
Oh, yeah.
And so if they do a really good job, I can provide a reference that they've done this volunteer work and they've done it successfully. We also have, through the sales of the donated items that we provide, we have the ability to actually monetarily support our shelter, which we do is a huge part of what we do with the money that comes from the thrift store.
Cool. So pretty much all the sales from the thrift store go towards the homeless shelter for the most part? Yeah?
A good portion of them do, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. That's awesome. Can you tell us what the mission of the RLC thrift store is?
Our mission, and I can't say this exactly, but our mission is to help people provide for their basic needs so that they can get back on their feet and provide for themselves and their families in a way that feels empowering.
That is a hugely important mission. It's more than just helping people who are homeless. It's helping them, go forward in life so that they hopefully don't end up back in that place.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So what are some ways that people can get involved if they want to volunteer at the RLC?
Definitely give us a call.
Okay.
We have opportunities to do everything from cleaning the store to creating new construction projects for us. We're always in need of absolutely everything that will help us go forward and fulfill our mission.
Can you give them the phone number of the store so they can call?
Absolutely. Our phone number is 417-451-0157.
Awesome. I know that just by being there throughout the semester, they are constantly in need of volunteers. So if you're interested, go ahead and give them a call, and they will hook you up with an opportunity to volunteer. Can you give us an idea of what some upcoming events that maybe the community should be aware of? I know that just recently you guys had the citywide garage sale, and you guys are always taking donations for things, but are there any specific events coming up that we should know about?
Well, we do support all of the events in Neosho.
Okay,
we are chamber members, so we try to definitely let people know about things that are going on. We're huge advocates of Hope Kitchen and the work that they do. And we just, as far as our own events in store, really our vouchers, our events, you know, we want to make sure that people, as they're shopping at the store, realize that they have the opportunity to spread the word, that we do support the homeless shelter, that if they have family members or friends in need, that they can come down and get those needs met at any time. And we're always happy to help, and we're always happy to lend an ear.
Yeah, for sure. So those, again, those vouchers are the back to school vouchers?
Yes.
And the Christmas vouchers?
Yes.
So if you know a family in need of that, just keep that in mind. And I know that just being there, I've seen you guys have like discounts and sales going on. Isn't there a day of the week, like there's a senior discount, right?
Absolutely. We do Tuesday, Veterans Day, Veterans discount, that's half price on everything. We do.
Can't beat that.
That's right. We do Senior Day. If you're 60 or older, you can get 25% off of everything in the store. We have bag days where you can come and shop and fill bags for $2, $3, and $5. So in addition to the specialty vouchers, we also do our clothing vouchers, we do our hygiene vouchers, and our what we call a burnout voucher. But that's really just, you've had a disaster in your home and you really need help getting started again. Okay,
cool. What are some goals for the RLC going forward? What would you like to see happen?
Well, we definitely want to grow RLC, and we want it to be known more in the community as what we do, which is community outreach and help. And we're a Christian-based organization, and so our mission really is to spread that word of love and support.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know you guys are doing a great job doing that. A little bit of personal question here. What's the favorite part of your job?
Oh, I love bringing in the donations.
You love bringing donations?
And I really love giving things away to people that need them.
Good. That's, I can't say much more to that. How has our team from MSSU been able to help your organization specifically?
Oh, it's been amazing to have the help. And I've been able to fulfill more of my goal of getting the word out about our mission and about our outreach programs by our, what I call the Wall of Service.
The Wall of Service, yeah. For those who don't know, the Wall of Service was a project that we did where we essentially took a door and painted it and made a community sign out of it, essentially to show the community what RLC is all about.
And we're so excited about that because people, they haven't seen it before, but they're coming in and they're looking and seeing this amazing, bright mission posted on the wall and all the pictures, and they're starting to ask about it. And so it's going to work exactly the way I thought. And the group has been helpful in so many small areas that too many to name, but probably the other big one is our signs. Now that we've got our signs just about in place, I could just taste it. It's just so exciting.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to see that done too. Once again, just to end us here, can you give us the phone number one more time of how people can get in touch with your organization?
Well, our number is 417-451-0157.
All right. Bethany, thank you so much for taking this time to answer some questions for us, and we will see you later.
Thank you, Greg.
Hello, my name is Daya Davenport, and I am here today with Brooke Shanks. She is the HR recruiter for the Arc of the Ozarks for the Joplin division. How are you, Brooke?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
Good. So we're just going to ask you a couple questions about our projects from this semester, kind of how that went. So to start off with, how prepared were you for this partnership with students? I kind of know we kind of made a plan together, but how from your end, how did that work out?
From my end, I was not prepared from the beginning. This was the first year that we've done this, as you know, and the girl who was starting to put it on actually left, and she accepted another position, so she dropped it on me. And so, however, I think, going into it not knowing exactly what we were doing or getting into, it, turned out very well. And so meeting with you guys as a group, and thankfully you guys had a timeline and knew what you were doing and could help, me. I think overall it went really well.
Learning experience for both
sure.
ends.
Yes.
So was there anything that you learned from us and that you might take away to use with future students or future groups?
Yeah, so I obviously learned that there, is help out in the community. First of all, partnering with Missouri Southern was awesome. I never knew that, was an option before. So that was a good learning tool. Learning to brand our website, like you said, with, each division and things like that. And just learning, I guess ultimately the thing that I learned most was outsourcing, into the community for help as well.
Yeah, that's always a great option for help and a learning experience on both ends. So do you feel that your organization is working better with the relationships with students and outsourcing and internally after this semester?
I do. So once we get, those retention questions, I think that will help us, kind of help the retention with our staff, which will obviously help the help our consumers in the long run. And then now that we have that relationship built, ongoing with Missouri Southern, we can, eventually use that and grow with that as well. And so that will help, not only Missouri Southern, but that will help the ARC and the staff and just our company as a whole.
Yes. So if there was one thing that you could change about the whole project, what would it be? Or the course of the timeline, what would it be?
Kind of big, it would be, to have done this a few years ago to start with. But over this one, I think maybe just, I don't know, everything that I wanted to accomplish, we accomplished. So as of this one, no, there's nothing that I would have changed.
Oh, good. Okay, we did a good job. So what do you think was the biggest takeaway from our whole project, or just working with students as a whole?
I think working with students, was probably the biggest thing that we got out of it. Helping build that relationship and that, networking for our company as well. But probably the PSA, because in the past few years, if we would have got a PSA, it was, very late in time, so it only got to run for, maybe a week if we were lucky. So to be able to use that PSA announcement, months before the event to actually build that, I think will be helpful.
Yay, nice. All right. So how do you think that the students and the group leaders interacted with staff for the semester? So were they actively listening and coming out with outcomes that you guys wanted?
Yeah. So obviously, I'm sure as you know that you were our biggest, you were the leader of the pack, and you did absolutely amazing, and you kept me in line as well, so I totally appreciate that. But as far, when we met as a group with all of the students, everything that, I presented that, let's do this. Each one of you, were like, oh, that's my, area of expertise. And so you guys jumped on all of that. So everyone, did their part and acted, which was absolutely amazing as well.
And I think it's also a great thing, everyone kind of under the gun, not having a plan, you can kind of create that plan. And so it's a great space for creativity and to learn new things. So let's see, from a professional perspective, what could the students have done to better prepare for future endeavors with the Arc of the Ozarks?
I think going in with the timeline, is definitely great. Going in with, what you guys kind of want to do, but as well as being open, with what the organization wants. That will, that's very helpful of, here's what we can do, but, what do you want? And then providing that timeline is very helpful as well.
Yes. Were there any specific improvements, do you think, or do you think there will be specific improvements with the projects that we produce for you?
Our website will be and definitely an improvement once we get that finished rolling out as well. They're working on that now. So we won't get emails all the time of, hey, I'm trying to apply, but I'm not sure where to apply. And it's like, scroll down just a little more.
Yes.
So that will definitely be a huge improvement. And then hopefully retention is high. That's just the nature of the business that we're in. However, I think, with some retention questions, we'll be able to kind of pinpoint those areas that we need to improve on. And so we'll be able to fix those. So hopefully that will be a good turnover as well.
Great. We hope it is a great turnout for you as well. So overall, how was your experience with working with Missouri Southern students? Would you guys do this again for future?
Sure. Yeah. It was a wonderful experience for myself. I hope that we get to do it, in the future as well. And then that would also allow us, to be kind of thinking over the year of, if we know that we're doing this, of some projects that you could definitely help us on, to improve our company as well.
Yes. All right. Well, I think that's all the time that we have today. Thank you, Brooke, for joining me this morning.
Yes, helping us this semester.
Again, my name is Daya Davenport. Check back with us for more.
I'd like to thank our students for helping us with today's program, both doing the interviews, working behind the scenes, and I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. I'm Judy Stiles. Hope you can join me again next week at the same time on this station. We'll see you then.